8 out of 10 fathers don't marry the mother of their child. It's also true that these absent fathers pay less than $800 annually for child support, often because they are poor themselves and can't afford legitimate support payments.
I'm having a kid with someone.
You don't even want the kid.
Less than 1/3 of teen mothers complete high school. Many teen mothers go on to have more children. About 1/4 of teen mothers have a second child within 24 months of the first birth.
You're gonna be grandma again.
I'm sorry, what?
Nearly 1 million teens get pregnant each year. Heavily, 4 out of 10 young women get pregnant at least once before they turn 20. 78% of teen pregnancies are unplanned. Less than 1/3 of teen mothers complete high school. Children of teen mothers are more likely to be born prematurely and at low birth weight, which raises the chances of blindness, deafness, mental retardation, cerebral palsy, and other disabilities.
The future consequences of everybody, involved, from the teenagers who have child, is they're going to have to grow up much quicker. They're going to have to be on an accelerated life cycle, really, of being responsible parents if they want the best for their child. And so they're going to have to give up a lot of things that maybe people who waited got to experience, whether it's traveling, whether it's buying an impractical car. They're going to have to give that up so that they can raise a child correctly. The life of the child might be affected. I'm trying to think in what way. Maybe just having younger parents. But maybe they might have parents that are going to be stressed because usually they're going to have to be going to school and working to support the child. It will probably be very difficult for them, kind of adjusting to having younger parents. And then, the grandparents will have to deal with just accepting the fact, and as I said before, supporting them, and maybe they will probably be a little stigmatized. I know how judgmental, especially here in the Valley, that other parents can be about, oh my God, your kid, what did you teach the kid? Did they have no morals? But they're going to have to get over that, and for the sake of the child, again, help raise it and not just criticize, because in the end, when you have a child so young, it can be somewhat healthy. A lot of parents people are becoming parents later on in life, 30, 35, 40, when their careers are settled, but that brings a host of other problems to the female and the child. And so, having it young is maybe economically not the wisest, but on the health of the mother, probably better than waiting till you're 40.
How do you think it affects the teens?
I think it affects them in a negative way, because suddenly after the baby's born, their original friends, they don't really have a lot in common anymore. They can't just go to the movies, they can't go shopping and buying whatever they want. They now have to think of somebody else, and many times they're hanging out with other teen moms, and their free time is limited, and it's frustrating.
How do you think it affects the relationship with the teen parents?
I don't think that teen parents actually have a true relationship if they're having unprotected sex. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. So I think that there is no relationship, and usually, unless a boy's family makes them step up to the plate, or a boy has the maturity to do that, then usually males don't step up and girls are left to kind of fend for themselves, and they're the ones that are always taking care of the baby, or their parents, or one of the young man's parents. So their relationship ends up becoming void, because they mature later on after they've had the kid, and it's too late.
If you don't finish high school, what are you going to tell your son? What are you going to tell your daughter? That you're a dropout?
Tendremos que hacer unos cambios.
I respect the teens that
think they should wait.
Love is not all about sex.
I think they're being responsible. We didn't know what to say to make her feel better.
She couldn't hang out with me anymore because she had to take care of her baby.
Both partners have to put all their time into raising their child, and they have less time to spend with each other.
You were boyfriend and girlfriend, and now you become mom and dad.
I'm definitely not ready for a kid right now.
It takes away your youth.
This is our time.
I would have to put my life on hold.
I mean, you gotta switch your priorities and your baby comes first all the time.
I have so many dreams and so many goals.
We interviewed a few teachers from our school and got their opinions on teen pregnancy.
While I think it's maybe a little too soon, I don't think it should be seen as something negative. It might be a obstacle in life, but it's not something that is going to stop your life from progressing. So I don't, I know they try to stigmatize it in school about how it's so bad and your life is over, but many people have gone through much worse obstacles than that, and I believe that teen pregnancy, you're bringing a child into this world is probably one of the best things you possibly can do, and that people shouldn't look at it as the end of the world or something. It's just another thing that they'll have to learn, and as we learned in one of our trainings, get some grit and continue to move forward and push on. And there's tons of help that you can get from the state government, the local government, the federal government, so they can continue their education, continue job skills, get Similac and diapers, all these expensive things that are needed to raise a baby. They can get help from to, how do you say this, to lessen the impact that having a child young could be.
I think it's a very unfortunate situation. Young girls that are pregnant can still succeed in life and be successful. It's just that they are making their goals that they want to reach more difficult. It's more of a challenging situation.
I think students don't understand the different choices they're taking on. I think whatever they're doing that they shouldn't be doing, they don't understand the consequences behind it, because I didn't, and I was very naive. Students aren't educated, whether it's by schools or by the parents, and so I think that they make really bad choices. And nowadays, since everything around us gets really blown up by TV and social media, then it really affects the choices that kids make. But people don't care, and then they think like a baby's gonna fix things, especially with relationships, which they're not even able to have an actual normal relationship. So taking it to the next step, it's just being irresponsible.
Teen pregnancy rates in the United States have decreased, but they are still too high. Every day, over 1,000 babies are born to teen mothers.
Having a child can have a huge impact on a young person's life and aspirations. Half of teen mothers don't graduate from high school, and babies born to teens face increased medical risk.
Most teen pregnancies happen because of sexual partners not using contraceptives at all, or not using them properly or consistently.
As a healthcare professional, you are critical to reducing teen pregnancy rates by encouraging adolescents having sex to improve their use of contraceptives.
Talk with your teen patients about whether they're having sex. Educate those teens about all of the contraceptive options available.
Help them select the method they will more likely use the right way in every time.
Let teens having sex know they are welcome to use any method of birth control. There are no restrictions on any method based solely on a teen's age.
Like my girlfriend, some teens may feel more comfortable using long-acting reversible contraception, such as IUDs or implants.
If a teen has had a pregnancy and continues to have sex, make sure she knows the benefits of long-acting reversible birth control as one option.
Most teens who are sexually active use condoms, and that's really good for preventing STDs, HIV, and pregnancy. But since condoms often are not used the right way and every time, they may not provide complete protection. That's a big problem.
Make sure your teenage patients who are having sex understand dual protection, using both a condom and a hormonal method of birth control to prevent pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases such as HIV.
As a healthcare provider, you can help improve the lives of all young people by giving them the information and tools they need to make healthy decisions. So talk to us about pregnancy and contraception. We'll listen.
What would you say to teenage parents who are considering abortion?
Do you believe in abortion?
Absolutely no. No, never, never, never. I'm tired of people using abortion as a means of birth control. And I'm tired of people saying, well, it's my body, I have a right. What about the body inside you? Who gives that little baby the right to make a choice? And if you were to see the aborted pictures I have seen, a trash can filled of little arms and little legs and little heads, you would say abortion is wrong. So stop using it as a means of birth control and have the baby. If you're going to do grown-up things, then become a grown-up and take care of your baby.
Go? Okay. Abortion. Wow. Okay, so when I was 16 and pregnant, kind of like MTV show, but it's not that great. I hadn't told my parents, and I actually went to a clinic to get an abortion to abort my son. And I walked into the clinic, I signed up, I walked in with tears. I knew what I was doing, but I thought I had a big future ahead of me, and if my parents knew that my future would be ruined, then I was doing a lot of things for myself, but I was doing a lot of things because my parents brought me up in a manner that I knew I wouldn't be making them proud if I had a kid. So when I did go to the abortion clinic, I was there sitting in the room and I couldn't do it. I got up, I walked out, and I've never looked back. Ended up, I think it's really hard unless people are in different positions, because I grew up in a very dominant Catholic household. I knew what was wrong from right. Unfortunately, my brother also had a kid when he was a senior in high school, so I had seen it. It's not like it wasn't around me, but I had to. It's very hurtful because nobody expected you to get pregnant. Nobody expects you to have a baby at 16 or 17. So it was really difficult for me to be in there, and it was more of, you know what, I made this decision, I need to live with it, I need to be an adult, and I need to take care of my responsibilities, and my parents are either gonna love me and forgive me, or I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do it on my own. But it is hard when you're in that situation. Like, nobody can ever say put yourself in my shoes, because so many things go through your head. You say yes, you say no, you go back and forth. But it's weird because I'm like religious, so I've been taught, like, when it comes to abortion, like, you hate the sin that was committed, but you don't hate the sinner. But it's kind of like nobody is vying for that baby in there. Like, that baby doesn't have its own voice, and I was the voice of my baby, so, like, I was telling myself that I couldn't go through it.
A lot of my friends that had sex as teenagers have regretted it, but then there's other ones that have been with their partner for many years and they don't regret it. But I think it's important to just wait till you're with the right person.
I know a lot of teens that say they wish they waited. They wish they waited till they found the right person, because after they have sex, it's like that relationship either goes bad or it doesn't seem like it used to be. Like, it changes the relationship.
Some do and some don't. It depends. Some people, like, especially guys, I feel like guys, like, they don't regret at all. They're just like, oh, it's whatever, on to the next one. But not every guy is like that, but, you know.
As an athlete, I wouldn't be able to play sports anymore. I'd probably have to drop out of school, or if I were luckily able to stay in school, I wouldn't be getting the same grades as I would be getting without being a teen parent. There's so many more responsibilities, such as taking care of the child, and I'm only 15, and I think it would be like the hardest thing ever.
You might have to work 2 jobs, you might have to drop out of school. You might have to like do all you can for support for those kids. And now if you think about it, if you were to bring a child in this world, wouldn't you want to give that child 100%? Like, give them better than you have. If I were to ever have kids, I would wait until like I'm a billionaire, because I got a really good life. So I want them to have as good as I did or better, because I know that there's more out there.